All right, so Dreamforce 2024
Yeah,
just wrapped up.
it did.
And honestly, my head is still spinning.
I know, right?
Salesforce really went all out this year.
Absolutely.
So much to unpack.
Yeah, tons of big announcements. But for me, Agent Force was the showstopper.
Yeah, I mean, it really felt like the energy in the room shifted when Benioff started talking about it. It's like Salesforce took everything we thought we knew about AI in business and hit fast forward.
Yeah, fast forward, I like that. Like they've jumped from giving you ingredients to like cooking up the whole dish. Salesforce has always given you tools, right?
Right.
But Agent Force feels different. It's more like we'll handle the heavy lifting so you can focus on the bigger picture.
Yeah, and that was the core of Benioff's keynote, wasn't it? This idea of AI not just automating tasks, but almost acting as your agent, like working tirelessly, to multiply your impact. He even said himself, flat out, called Agent Force a total game changer.
And you know what? I've been to my fair share of Dreamforce events, and this one, there was a different energy. I don't know if you felt it, but people weren't just listening. People were like scribbling notes. They were whispering to each other. You could tell the wheels were turning.
Big time. It was palpable. But okay, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's back up a little bit.
Yeah.
For those who maybe haven't had a chance to dive into all the details yet, let's break down, like, at its core, what Agent Force actually is.
Yeah.
So if there was one thing that Benioff really hammered home again and again, it was this. Agent Force is not about replacing jobs. It's about augmenting. It's about amplifying what humans can do.
It's almost like giving everyone superpowers. I mean, instead of you drowning in all these routine tasks, you've got this AI force that's tackling all of that in the background, freeing you up for, the strategic stuff, the creative stuff, all the things that humans are really, really good at.
Absolutely, yeah. And, Benioff, he used this analogy. He's big on analogies, and it was so helpful. And he's like, imagine having a whole team of AI assistants, each one with specific skill sets working 24/7 to help you achieve your goals.
I like it.
He even shared the story about a sales manager who used Agent Force to, like, analyze customer data and predict which leads were actually the most likely to convert. And, the result,
what happened?
Her team's sales skyrocketed because they were able to focus all their energy on the right opportunities at the right time.
And that's it, right? That's the aha moment with all of this. It's not just some abstract tech jargon. It's like, how is this going to move the needle? How is this going to actually achieve real business outcomes? And I think for anyone who's, been frustrated by clunky systems or wasted time, which, let's face it, is probably all of us, that's a pretty compelling value proposition.
And the coolest thing is, this isn't like some far-off future that we're talking about,
No.
Salesforce didn't just talk about Agent Force. They actually demoed it live at Dreamforce.
They did, yeah.
And let me tell you, it was
pretty slick.
Slick. It was impressive.
Very slick.
They brought out this AI agent named Sophie. And she, get this, worked for Saks Fifth Avenue.
I know. Talk about, making an entrance.
Yeah.
Like, right off the bat.
High-end retailer.
That this isn't just another chatbot. This is about elevating the customer experience.
Yes.
In even the most demanding of industries,
Totally. So picture this, okay? Sophie's helping this customer find the perfect jacket online.
Oh.
But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
She wasn't just matching keywords,
right,
Like she was actually pulling up different styles.
Wow.
Asking about the customer's preferences, like for fit, for occasion.
Wow.
She was even suggesting complimentary pieces, Like, oh, you might like this scarf or these bags.
It's like having a personal stylist.
Yes.
Right there on the screen.
It was like having a personal stylist right there on your screen.
Yeah.
And it felt so natural.
It really did. And this is where my mind starts to melt a little bit, right? Because we hear about these large language models, these LLMs.
Yes.
And I get it at a high level.
Yeah.
But, I'm no data scientist. So break it down for me a little bit. How are LLMs actually being used here with Agent Force?
So think of it this way. Think of the LLM, right? Like the large language model. Think of that as like the engine of a car.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the LLM. And then you've got the Salesforce platform, right? So that's all their existing tools, like, Customer 360, Commerce Cloud.
Right.
All of that. And that's like the chassis, the wheels, the structure of the car.
Got it. Okay.
So what Salesforce has done that's so clever is they've integrated these very, very powerful LLMs, right? They've stuck it in the engine of their existing system,
Oh, okay.
which means that Agentforce can tap into a company's data, right? So that's things like customer profiles, purchase histories, product catalogs, all of that rich data that Salesforce has.
Right, right.
And it can use all of that to actually personalize every single interaction.
So it's like giving these LLMs a brain, but it's also giving them like eyes and ears to actually navigate the business world.
A context, right?
Yes.
That's what's so powerful, yeah.
And what I think is really interesting about this is that because it is built on Salesforce's existing platform,
That's key.
businesses don't have to like rip and replace everything.
Exactly. And this is what I think a lot of people are missing. They hear AI and they think, oh my God, I've got to like rebuild my entire tech stack. Not with this.
Exactly.
You can plug this into your existing systems and workflows, which makes adoption like so much smoother.
It makes it actually doable.
Exactly.
You know, versus like the...
It's not a science project.
Yes.
This is something that can actually be implemented and used.
Exactly. It's like they've built this incredible AI engine.
Yeah.
But then they've given businesses like the steering wheel and the pedals, like all the tools.
He's giving you the keys,
that they need.
And the instruction manual.
To actually harness that power.
Salesforce is really good at the instruction manuals, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, it's true. They're very good at like holding your hand through the process, which is really important. You know.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Because you can have the most advanced AI in the world, but if you don't have the right infrastructure in place, if you don't have the integration, it's just a fancy toy.
It's meaningless.
It's meaningless, right?
It's a science project.
Exactly. What Salesforce has done is they've created this whole ecosystem where businesses can actually deploy AI in a way that's practical, it's scalable, and most importantly, it's directly tied to business outcomes, to their bottom line.
Totally. It's kind of blowing my mind, honestly, like just thinking about all the possibilities here.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about a world where AI isn't just, you know, automating tasks in the background, but it's actually helping us make better decisions, serve our customers better.
Totally.
Be more successful. It's pretty huge.
It's like having, you know, a team of like expert consultants.
Right.
Working for you 24/7, constantly analyzing data, you know, identifying patterns, surfacing insights that, you know, as humans, we might miss.
Totally. And that brings us to the big, you know, the so what of all of this.
Right.
Like, why should our listeners care about this?
Yeah.
You know, what kind of impact could this technology actually have on, you know, businesses, on people in the real world?
So imagine this. Imagine you're a customer service rep.
Yeah.
And you've got a customer on the line, they've got a problem, they're frustrated. But with Agentforce, you can instantly pull up that customer's entire history. I'm talking about past purchases, service requests, even like social media interactions, all of that in one place. And then you can use that information to really personalize your approach, anticipate their needs, and hopefully resolve issues faster and more effectively.
Oh my God, no more getting bounced around like between departments.
Exactly.
Or repeating your story like 5 times to 5 different people.
The worst.
The worst.
The worst. But it goes beyond customer service, right? Think about marketing.
Okay.
Imagine a marketing team being able to use Agentforce to personalize their campaigns.
Wow.
But in real time. So they're tailoring the message, the offer, everything to that specific customer based on their preferences, their behaviors.
It's like having a team of like marketing gurus, like crafting personalized messages for every single person.
Exactly. That's next level stuff. And I think this is where Agentforce is really, really interesting because it's not just a one-trick pony.
Right.
This has the potential to transform like every area of a business.
Totally.
From sales to marketing to customer service to operations. I mean, you name it.
And the best part is, right, like this isn't, again, this far off fantasy. Like Benioff made it very clear. Agentforce is like, it's ready.
It's here.
It's here.
Businesses are already using this.
They're already piloting it. They're deploying it. Like this is happening.
As we speak. And honestly, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, Benioff actually said, and this is a direct quote, he said that interacting with AI agents like Sophie will soon be as common as like using apps on our phones.
Wow. That's a bold statement.
It is.
So, okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. What's like the key takeaway?
Yeah.
You know, what should our listeners be doing right now to kind of prepare for this like AI-powered future that's clearly coming at us like really, really fast?
I think the takeaway is this. The train has left the station. Okay. It's picking up speed. And the question is not if AI is coming. The question is how quickly can your business adapt and really use this to your advantage?
Yeah.
Now's the time to start exploring, start experimenting with these tools, and maybe most importantly, start using your imagination a little bit.
Yeah.
How could this technology, how could Agentforce help you achieve your goals? What would you do if you had, an AI workforce at your fingertips?
It's funny you should say that because Benioff ended his keynote with that exact challenge. He challenged the entire Dreamforce audience to kind of sit with that for a minute and imagine what's possible,
It's a good challenge.
And it is. It is a great challenge. And it's one that I think, we should all be asking ourselves, honestly, not just in our work lives, but, in our personal lives as well, right? Like how could AI help us live better, happier, more fulfilling lives?
The future is unwritten, right? And I think with these tools, the possibilities are pretty much limitless.
They are limitless, and that is a perfect place to wrap things up. This has been our deep dive into Agentforce, Salesforce's big, big, big AI bet. We'll definitely be keeping a close eye on how this technology continues to evolve. We'll be back soon with more deep dives. Until then, keep exploring, keep innovating, and as always, thanks for diving in with us.